Today I am going to talk about development of Putin God's positive mental conditions that can help a meditator to develop necessary insight knowledge and attainment of the lasting peace and joy, attainment of the body and fruition knowledge, attainment of the nirvana bliss, where a person's mind, a person is totally free from suffering. During meditation, a meditator must remind himself that the purpose of meditation is twofold. The first one is to reduce the incidence and occurrence of impure negative mental states that slowly, step by step, removing the occurrence of those impure mental states, eventually leading to the removal of the impure mental conditions. This is the first purpose and the first responsibility. The second purpose and the second action is to develop pure mental states, pure and wholesome mental states as much as possible. In order to fulfill these two purposes, what a meditator needs to do is just only to follow the instructions with the serious interests, aspirations, and balanced, relaxed mental attitudes, and commitment. When practicing meditation, if a meditator can remind himself this true purpose of meditation, a meditator will be inspired because the mind is very wonderful thing for every being. Without the mind, no one can be alive. No one can experience. But most of the time, people in their daily life are struggling to keep their mind peace, happy, entertained, and satisfied. But the mind always wants endlessly. The mind always demands endlessly. The mind always manipulates all beings. For new meditators, they don't know their mind is manipulating their daily life. And they just only think they are living life, enjoying themselves. When something unacceptable, disagreeable happens, they suffer a lot, leading to more suffering. A person on the spiritual path knows how to take care of the mind. So the mind is like a very precious jewel, like the precious gold, precious diamonds, precious asset of a person. Purifying one's own mind is a very delicate and very challenging training, which can be found nowhere except in the Buddha's teaching. Buddha's teaching is very much ahead of time, even before modern science has come up. It has a complete, detailed, methodical explanations of mind and mental care and mental analysis. This kind of mind and mental care and mental analysis is recorded in various discourse and Buddhist and Suttantas, not only in Abhidhamma Pitaka. Positive psychology is not experimental psychology. It is both clinical and applied psychology, which can benefit anyone who apply it in their daily life. And many times, many years ago, the purpose of meditation are commonly understood by devotees and Buddhist community to attain Nibbana, to eradicate suffering. This is from spiritual context and from religious perspective. If meditation is seen from applied social science, it is absolutely wonderful training which can benefit for people in their daily life, regardless of the religious backgrounds and social status. Buddha's teaching, as said by the Buddha, is not reserved and limited to Buddhist devotees alone. It is for everyone who have serious interest to explore the pathways for lasting peace, the pathways to achieve and establish lasting inner peace and inner joy. To achieve that lasting inner peace and inner calm, one must commit to practice meditation. It is a very practical and realistic training. Once you understand this basic aspect of the main purpose of the meditation, then you will be inspired to continue practicing. In order for a meditator to develop pure and wholesome positive mental states, the first step is to reduce frequency of wholesome mental states in the mind by maintaining mindfulness. This way, a meditator can slowly reduce the occurrence of unwholesome negative mental states. In the beginning, it may be challenging. Gross mental impurity such as sensual desires, aversion, anger, hatred, restlessness, and destruction, and guilt, remorse, and doubt. These are gross impurities. Minor and nagging impurities, they are called impurity, but actually not impurity, just only destruction. Are thoughts of various kinds regarding various things. Consciousness is very wonderful energy. It functions, it occurs so fast, non-stop. It can move to different objects, regardless of distance, regardless of time. Even those past experience and past things happen to one individual may come back in the form of memory. So mental training needs a lot of patience and skill and the right attitudes. Being able to let go of those immaterial thoughts is part of necessary skill to be developed by a meditator. If a meditator can develop the ability of letting go of those immaterial restless thoughts by means of a calm, detached, impersonal mindfulness, then he will progress in his practice. Buddha himself attained such state, even though he lead a very busy life every day, working to save people from all walks of life. His mind always remained calm and inclined toward the peace of the Nibbana. In Buddhist texts, how Buddha keep his mind is always mentioned as Vimoti Neno, Vimoti Porno, Vimoti Babaro. The mind of the Lord Buddha is always inclined toward liberated mental state for peace. It is always immersed in liberated mental state of the Vimoti. It is always fused into liberated mental states. Here the term Vimoti is very much a deep word. It is a state of very calm and agitated mind, which is strong, stable, and unshakable, unaffected. Even though he has a daily, very busy schedules, his mind always remains calm. That's what is described in Buddhist text. For common people like all of us, may not be able to achieve that far yet, but we can develop a very peaceful mind, even though it may not be totally peaceful. A strong and stable mind, which you can develop through this mindfulness practice. The meditation is like a spiritual armor and spiritual protective barrier, which can immunize and neutralize bad, negative, unwholesome mental states. Knowing this alone as a benefit of meditation will inspire you you are trying to learn how to set up protective mental energy, which you can develop through mindfulness. It is a very powerful protective armor against strong, raw emotion, well emotions, which one may have to live through in life. How wonderful it is to know that once you understand that meditation can provide you with a wonderful potency of the spiritual strength and immunity against those unwholesome, negative mental states, then you will be inspired. You just need to keep up your efforts in a very relaxed and balanced way. This way you can progress with a calm and joyous mind. This is what I would like to talk to you as an encouragement in the beginning of today's talk. Now, let me share what Buddha has said regarding development of Bojjhanga, positive mental qualities known as factor of enlightenment. Bojjhangas are interpreted as factors of enlightenment. It's very much like technical. For the common people, I would like to put it in very simply as positive mental qualities that can lead a meditator to progress in his journey, spiritual journey, to attain lasting peace and that wonderful spiritual strength. Now, what Buddha has said is in a discourse called the two discourse. The first is called the Pariyaya Sutta, and the second sutta is called Eki Sutra. Pariyaya Sutra is about factors of enlightenment, defined and classified in practical ways. Another sutta, Eki Sutta, is about similarity of making and starting a fire and developing Bojjhanga. Buddha always uses a metaphor, sometimes similar, sometimes an analogy expression to make his teaching understandable and simple for the audience. First, I would like to explain what is said in Pariyaya Sutta. In this sutta, Buddha mentioned about the various kinds of Bojjhangas in two categories. Let me quote the first sutta. Thako Sampula Bhikkhu Bobana Samya Niwa Sitwa Pada Jivra Madaya Savutin Paindaya Puisaintu. Once many monks, having dressed themselves up with the monastic accessories in hand, enter into the city of the Savatthi in the morning to collect the foods of our divine devotees. Thako desam bhikkhuna ida rodi adipa gokho tawa Savatthiyam Painaya Charito. It is a bit early to enter into the city. Yanuna mayan yena inya deti yanam pribhasgana aramo denuba sangmeyama. It could be better and companion if we go into the temple of the Prabhajaka who are not disciples of the Buddha. In Buddha's time, there are many monastics who follow the Pariyaya monastic traditions and different kind of teachers who have different ideas and philosophies. This is the custom of the disciple of the Buddha to visit to those temple of the people who belong to other traditions. The Baba is to a chain friendly discussion and talk. So let me interpret only what is said in the discourse to save time. And then those monks approach to the temple of those ascetics. And once they are there, they exchange friendly courtesy and they sit down together. And then those ascetic start the following discussion. Our Prince Venerable monks, Shivatija, Kormat Buddha, encourage disciples to remove 5 hindrances, which are obstacles to attain and progress, which can obstruct development of the wisdom, which can weaken the wisdom. And we also teach the same way. We also teach the same thing to our disciples to remove 5 hindrances. At this point, in this regard, is there any difference? We don't see any difference between our teaching, our teacher's teaching, and Shiva teacher, the great venerable Buddha's Gautama's teaching, and Seth, the ascetic. Then the monks, they don't know how to make a proper response. So they just talk other things and they just come out and they just go into the city for alms round, for collecting the food donated by people, and they just come back to the temple. And they, in the afternoon, they went to the Buddha. They report their talk with those ascetic. The monks reported to the Buddha, Lord Buddha, we don't give any kind of response to them. We don't protest what they said. We don't accept what they said. Then we come back. Only we report to the Buddha about this. When the monks reported this to the Buddha, Buddha replied, my friend, you should reply to those ascetic. Those 5 obstacles you mentioned are 10 and can be 10 obstacles. And also we 5 and 7 paths of enlightenment we develop are also to be classified as 14. This way, we are not the same like Shiva teaching. If they reply like this, they will be without answer because they only understand 5 hindrances. They don't know 10 hindrances, 10 impurities, 10 major obstacles. Then Buddha continued to explain, there's no one in the world who can explain this kind of classification. Only in Buddha's teaching, only by the Buddha and his disciple will be able to explain this amplification and this categorization. And Buddha explained further, Katamoja Bhikkhve Priyayo. And what is the method and strategy to classify the 5 hindrances into 10? Yadapi Bhikkhve Ijatan Kamichando Tatapi Nivarana. Here in the world, disciples, one's sensual desire, which arises in one's mind, is also one category of obstacle. Yadapi Baheda Kamichando Tatapi Nivarana Kamichanda Nivarana. And also, at the outside external material objects and things and what people are attached to, and also every 5 sensual things which exist outside of one's own mind, one's own individual being, they are also called the external obstacle of sensual desire. And beginning with this classification, Buddha explained internal anger, which one can feel, experience, and external object of anger, and also sloth and toba, one can feel in one's mind, and also in the external world among different kind of people. This is also external sloth and toba. In restlessness and remorse, which one can feel internally in oneself, and also in external world, experienced by all people, and vijjikicha, experienced by oneself, and also by other people of the world, including animals. And this way, the nature of obstacle, 5 hindrances and 5 obstacles, major obstacles, are to be viewed from 2 categories: internal experience and external experience. I'm just trying to summarize this because it will make the talk longer if I'm trying to go into more detailed explanation. For example, internal obstacle is the one which experience in the mind. In this case, that individual is not doing anything. Only in the mind, those obstacles are arising. But the moment those kind of sensual desire or anger, aversion become strong, then that person cannot remain still. And he starts craving this and that and reacting physically. And this is the external obstacle. So internal obstacle can be handled by means of the mindfulness and right thinking and wise thinking, by developing right attitude also. In case a person is involved in the craving and any physical stuff and physically acting out based on his desire and aversion, then this is the external obstacle. It's more dangerous and it will lead to more restless and more negative conditions. So this is a brief explanation of this 2-4 classification of the 5 hindrances. Now let me conclude regarding classification of the 10 hindrance. Now, 7 factors of enlightenment. Kadamoja bhikkhve priyayo, yam priyayan agama, satta bhujinga chaduddhasa hondi. What is the method and strategy by means of which 7 factors of enlightenment can be 14. Yadabi bhikkhve ijadam dhamedu sati dadabi sati sambhujingo. Disciple, a meditator, keep mindful awareness in one's own individual being, inner being, on matter, on this body, and the feeling, on the mental state, on the sensation, on various mental and physical phenomena, while one is sitting or just walking. This is internal sati bhujinga, which is to be experienced in oneself, by oneself. This is internal sati bhujinga, internal state. Yadabi bheda dhamedu sati, tadabi sati sambhujingo. And also in the external phenomena, there's mindfulness regarding external object. Your mindfulness will be focusing on the external object of the sight you see, the sound you hear, and the sensation which comes from outside, or material stuff you hold or you grab, such as the food tray, the foods, or the door, etc. When you are observing very detailed mindfulness, and those are called the external sati bhujinga. Mindfulness focus on external phenomena, external mental phenomena and physical phenomena. So altogether, this is called the external sati bhujinga. Yadabi bheda dhamesuti drabi sri sambhujingo. Sri sambhujingo ti iti hidam ode sam agachri dramina bedam priyayena dvayam hoti. Both internal sati bhujinga, internal mindfulness, and external mindfulness of the sati bhujinga are called the sati bhujinga. So sati bhujinga is divided into 2 segments. The first is internal focus of mindfulness based on focus on internal mental phenomena and physical phenomena. And the external sati bhujinga focus on external sights and sounds and all those physical and experience and physical steps. This is how sati bhujinga becomes 2-4. Now Dhamma Vijaya bhujinga. Sharabi bhikkhve ijadam dhammesu pinyaya pa vichinati pa vicharati privimansti Darabi Dhamma Vijaya sambhujingo. Disciple, when a meditator trying to understand regarding one's internal personal 5 aggregates and all the mental phenomena and physical phenomena. When a meditator trying to distinguish between what is physical matter and what is a spiritual element, how they arise and pass, how they are constantly being subject to arising and passing, how they lack any personal entity, any solid nature, how they lack any kind of manipulability by one's own whims and desire and control, etc. When a person starts analyzing regarding one's personal internet aggregates, this is internet Dhamma Sambo Chinga. It's very clear. Shadabi Beda Dhamesu Pinyaya Pawisinati Priwimansa Abejdi Trabi Dhamma Vijaya Sambo Chingo. A disciple, when he analyzes external material things and mental element that comes in contact with his attention, this is called the external Dhamma Vijaya Sambojima. This can be explained when a meditator notes the object he sees as the seeing moving object, not as someone, without going into detail, without letting any subsequent unwholesome manifestation from rising. And he can also analyze and distinguish any external thing. When he is taking the food, he just noted it as the food, just a material matter, which is necessary to provide one's daily needs to sustain life without any attachment. They are lifeless in material matter. They also subject to rising and passing. The moment I consume it, put in the mouth, and they are solid nature and disappear, they become puff. And once they are inside, by digestive heat, after digestion process, and they transform their nature, etc. This is how analytical wisdom, analytical insight knowledge known as Dhamma Vijaya Spojanga can happen, can develop. So analytical wisdom and insight knowledge can happen when a person focus on one's own internal, personal aggregates and mental phenomena, physical phenomena. And it can also develop when analyzing external objects. This is how Buddha skillfully explained in twofold method of the Dhamma Vijaya Sambochinga. Now, let me continue to explain the Viriya Sambochinga. Shadabi Bekwe Kayigan Viriya. Tadabi Viriya Sambochingo. Disciple, any physical bodily effort a meditator made during the retreat, such as sitting, walking, doing daily chores and daily activities mindfully. This is a physical effort. The moment one starts moving, this is a physical effort. The moment one starts sitting, this is a physical effort. But after the meditators sit, there's no physical effort, just only mental effort come up. And when a person start walking meditation, then this is bodily and physical effort. When he is trying to synchronize his mindfulness with the movement of the feet, this is also mental effort. In the walking meditation, both mental efforts and bodily efforts are very strong and intense. So in the first classification, Buddha explained about the bodily effort, physical effort, known as Kayika Viriya. Kayika is a conjunctive noun, an enhanced noun with a suffix. Kaya, Ika. Kaya means body. Ika means relating to or made with the body or physical. Puriya means effort. This is a physical effort. Yadabi cheda sikan wariya. Tadabi wariya sambochingo. Any mental effort which a meditator exert during his mindfulness observation, mindfulness meditation, is called this is also wariya bojinga. So, in this twofold classification, Buddha said bodily effort and mental efforts are both Huriya Bojingas. Every time you note mindfully, every time you make bodily effort, you are fulfilling two Bojingas. You are developing two Bojingas. So this is very clear. That's why I used to explain that to meditators. Bojingas are not to be found in the Buddhist text, in the library, in the Dhamma talks. They are to be developed in our consciousness and our body by ourselves. How simple and clear it is to understand this way. Now let me continue to explain Piti Bochinga. Shadabi Bhikkhue Sawi Daga Sawi Chara Piti Drabi Piti Sambochingo. Regarding Piti Bochinga, Buddha explained twofold piti. Some of you, maybe many of you may heard about 5 kinds of the piti rapture. They are just experience. And this discourse, Buddha explained regarding characteristic. Piti, at the moment it arises, there are certain characteristics or mental components. People are explaining what is in this discourse, what is said in this discourse. I want to explain you. First, there is the first piti. It's called the Sawi Daga Sawi Chara. You still have initial thoughts. You still have regarding thoughts when you experience this ecstatic joy known as rapture or piti. Some of you may have experienced in sudden retreat. You know you have this occurrence of the piti, but you still have the wandering thoughts, even though they are very reduced and very much infrequent. Your mind is calm, peaceful, and when piti and passaddhi comes, you know there is passaddhi and piti coming up. You feel lightness of the body, lightness and very pliant and very subtle nature of the mind, always calm, agitated, without wandering, remaining focused on the object of meditation. You are able to observe whatever your effort is. The mind remain calm and well behaved. Then you know the rapture arises. A feeling of wonderful joy to achieve such kind of bodily calm and mental calm. There's no more bodily feel. There's no gross physical appearance and feel. You don't even know the bodily figure you are sitting. You just only know the mind, and the mind awareness and the object you are observing. Sometimes you even think, is there any body left? Any physical nature left? And you have such kind of minor thoughts. And then that rupture is called a savidaga savichara piti. How simple and how direct Buddha explained the first category of joy. This kind of first category of piti, explained by the Buddha, is going to be experienced by most of you. I have experienced during my intensive retreat, intensive training. This is the first kind of piti bojjhanga Buddha explained. Yadabi Bekwe Savidaga Savichara Piti Tadabi Piti Bojjhango. Disciple, rupture with the component of the thoughts and recurrent thoughts still present. This kind of rupture, piti, ekastatic joy is called also piti bojjhanga. Shadabi avidaga avichara piti tadabi piti sambojjhango. Disciple, the ecstatic joy or rupture, which has no initial thought, no recurrent thought, just only a very calm mind, ecstatic joy. This is also piti bojjhanga. This is more advanced and more stronger and more long-lasting. Can be experienced by those who have attained jhana, especially the third and the fourth jhana states, and those in highest state of the sankharupika, insight knowledge, and post sankharupika is moment when the meditator make a real progress by being able to attain Bodhi Anuloma Godrabu and entering into the cessation process, and they remain there for long duration of time, 1 hour, 2 hours, etc. And this state, before they achieve cessation, they still can experience this kind of the rupture without thoughts. The body is light, the mind is light and wonderful. Everything is very wonderful and smooth and flowing. This kind of piti is advanced piti. So Buddha explained piti, experience of piti on 2 levels. The first piti is the moment a meditator can experience that rupture and ecstasy. But initial thoughts and recurrent thoughts still present in the mind. But these thoughts are just only very gentle thoughts, very gentle and non-distracting, non-disturbing thoughts. Just only a process of knowing. So how wonderful it is. So Buddha explained piti on 2 levels, based on 2 characteristics of it, to be experienced by the people on the spiritual path. Now let me continue to explain regarding passaddhi bojjhanga. Yadabi bhikkhve kaya passaddhi tadabi passaddhi sambojjhango. Disciple, passaddhi sambojjhanga is twofold. The first is bodily calm, bodily subtlety. This bodily calm and bodily subtle nature is called Kaya Pasati. This Pasati is also Pasati Bhujanga. So Pasati is to be experienced on both ways, on both levels, body level, physical level, and mental level. In the commentary, commentators trying to explain this as a matter of the Chetasika. But I want to give the most understandable for meditators. The term kayas can also mean this physical body. Without bodily calm, how mental calm arise or occur? The body needs to achieve substantial advanced degree of calm by having the absence of any physical discomfort. Physical discomfort must be absent. Would the physical discomfort still in the meditator's body? How mental calm can appear, can be experienced? This is logical thinking. So I want to give it more simple. Kaya Pasati also refer to bodily calm. When you no longer feel the gross nature of the body, the gross and solid nature of the body, you no longer feel the touch of the body. The body itself becomes very soft, very subtle. That's why Buddha himself, enlightened saints, can travel within a second to great distance because of that Kaya Pasati. And the Buddhist it is clearly explained about that. In one of the texts regarding the application of the psychic powers, it is clearly mentioned about that when a person is about to perform psychic performance, such as moving from one place to another place, right in front of people, immediately appearing at somewhere else within a second, can happen because every performance, every act of performance is just only a thought moment process. The moment that person is about to move to a particular place, his body and mind must be synchronized. And also, the body will be micronized. So micronized, I will use the term micronized. In other words, the body disappears. The body has to be pulverized and micronized by means of the spiritual power. It immediately moves to where that person wants. Buddha himself performed such kind of thing as a routine. When a meditator needs urgent help, he immediately go. For example, when Venerable Sona is having thoughts of giving up his practice because he cannot make progress, he starts having thoughts, I think I should go back to my home and be a layman. As a layman, I perform meritorious deeds, I observe the precepts, I practice meditation occasionally. This way is much more easier for me to do. Striving here continuously and making effort continuously, I cannot achieve much progress. I better give up. And He has this thought, and Buddha capture his thoughts right away, immediately. And the Buddha go there immediately, appear in front of him, like a apparition, like a ghost appear in front of you from nowhere. That's how the power of the mind, especially the power of the enlightened, the power of the mind of the enlightened saints, like the Buddha and those enlightened saints, is very powerful. They can macronize their body into nothingness, into disappearance, and they can reappear somewhere else. Venerable Moggallana also did the same thing. When the robbers, assassins come to assassinate him, he know they are coming. He just left before they arrive. So our body and our minds are two components, inseparable. But when the mind achieves very wonderful state of purity, and the body also follow. The body follow by losing its gross nature, by becoming very subtle and very soft. A meditator start experiencing the absence of the bodily feel. He no longer feel. This is just only minor stage for more advanced experience. You can imagine how advanced that bodily calm and mental calm will be for those who have made great progress on the spiritual journey. So Buddha said, disciple, this bodily calm is pasadi bochinga. Yadabi jeda pasadi, tadabi pasadi sambochinga. The mental calm, a meditative experience in the course of his practice. This is also pasadi bochinga. Buddha clearly explained pasadi bochinga on two levels: bodily calm, which is characterized by lack of the pain, physical discomfort, and lack of the gross nature of the body. And mental calm, characterized by very peaceful, very calm, and very much focused mind. Now, Buddha going to explain the next bojjhanga, number 6 bojjhanga. Yadabi bhikkhve savidago savijaro samadhi tadabi samadhi sambochingo. Yesterday I talked about samadhi a little bit. How samadhi is classified. Savidaga savichara samadhi, avidaga vichara mada samadhi, avidaga avichara samadhi, 3-4 explanation. But in this discourse, Buddha explained only 2. But this is much more simpler. And 3-4 classification is based on Pariyaya state of jhana and based on abhidhamma. This is more associated with the practical attainment of the jhana of the people, disciples. And in this sutta, Buddha explained the first samadhi, savidago, savicharo samadhi, concentration which still have initial thoughts and recurrent thoughts. This occurrence of initial thoughts and recurrent thoughts are not violent, not frequent. They are very gentle, minor thoughts of reflection. Not about families and friends and not about one's own experience. This is samadhi is also very wonderful. It is to be experienced when a meditator make sufficient amount of progress in his practice. And also when a person attain a fast absorption state. This is the samadhi Buddha referring to. So the samadhi with the initial thoughts and regarding thoughts still present is samadhi sambojjhanga. This bojjhanga you can experience, it is not out of reach. You can achieve this anytime soon, or you may have it already experienced. Yadabi avidaga avicharo samadhi, tadabi samadhi sambojjhango. Disciple, there's another samadhi, which has no initial thought, no regarding thought, just those kind of thoughts are absent. Any mental wandering, any incident of the mind moving out is no more. The mind remains still and calm, peaceful. And the meditator and that individual remains in a very wonderful state of calm. In that state, a meditator or that person, his physical appearance is like a statue. No bodily shaking, no body action. He remains calm and in the deep samadhi. This second samadhi is to be experienced by those who attain the third and the fourth stage, Rupa Jhana and Arupa Jhana. And also those who have made the highest progress in their Vipassana meditation. And let's say when they are about to enter into the Anuloma and go through and part and fruition knowledge, and after that, they can remain in that kind of deep samadhi for a certain amount of time. This is the avidaga auchara samadhi. Now all these two are samadhi bojjhanga. Now regarding upekkha sambojjhanga, Buddha said, Yadapi bhikkhave ijjatang dhammesu upekkha. Tadapi upekkha sambojjhango. Disciple, when a meditator develops equal, unaffected, unintentional observation, effortless observation of mindfulness on his own body and both bodily physical phenomena and mental phenomena, that's upekkha sambojjhanga. And also, yadapi bheda dhammesu upekkha, tadapi upekkha sambojjhango. When he maintains effortless observation of the sights and the sounds mindfully coming from outside, that's also upekkha sambojjhanga. This way, upekkha sambojjhanga is twofold. So altogether, there are 14 kind of bojjhangas, positive quality of mental conditions, which serve as petals of enlightenment. May all of you be able to clearly understand these bojjhangas explained by the Buddha in twofold method classification. May all of you appreciate your practice and continue your effort and your meditation training so that you progress smoothly and easily. May you attain peace and happiness of Nibbana.